All right, here we are. We've made it. It's the end.
This is the end.
I've been enjoying the show. I hope you've been enjoying going through it with me. I'm assuming Goliath is going to die, and we'll be conflicted about that because his mother was killed. Man, nothing about his storyline made sense, and I hope that the writers are aware of that and they learn from these mistakes. Let's get it going. House of David, Season 1, Episode 8. Well, I guess we're just picking right up with Jonathan trying to kill Goliath. Well, let's see how this goes wrong. And I feel like that second guy would have yelled first.
Where are you from? Endor.
Why are you just now asking that? You left with him? I mean, it wasn't... the sun was still up when he was introduced to these people.
Though I haven't been there since I was a child. I've been told no one ever leaves Endor. How did you escape such a place? I learned to kill.
Okay, Indoor coming up again. That's...
I
all right.
see fire pits and smoke.
His father's camp.
They go to the Philistine camp first. That'd be funny. Okay, we've been here before. I think they've used this spot a couple of times. I think that this is where they filmed Eshbal's thing and Goliath's attacking of the Israelite, like, small group of campers. Yeah, that's definitely CG. I know a lot of the things I said look good probably were too, but that one was obviously CG. Can no one yell in the Philistine camp?
I'm sorry, my prince. They paid me more.
Oh, gotcha.
Jonathan!
I've waited many years for this.
Wait, Miraf, look.
Wait, stop. No, something is wrong. Go, get down.
Halt!
What's happening?
What is that?
Okay, so that's kind of silly. Why would the king of Gath signal that it was time to attack the Israelites in that valley when he couldn't actually see them in order to know it was time to attack them? That doesn't make any sense, and it wasn't even like visually interesting. I guess there was a slight reveal of, oh, this was what was happening, but that wasn't really contingent on Jonathan being there.
It's a bad start, boys.
They're surrounded.
Also, fire arrows doesn't really... it's just unnecessary. I like that they didn't show that the guy he just threw down to the ground was dead. A lot of times they kind of ignore that and like, no, he's down. He can't hurt him anymore. Move on. Good job, choreographers.
You will kneel, or be made to kneel.
Knocking him unconscious doesn't really count as kneeling. Falling over. But they've used that shot one time too many. Again, they haven't established who those people are, so the shot doesn't even mean anything.
Yo, I think it's sharp enough.
Great. Now we're fighting each other.
Starving men will do anything.
Why'd you stop going for the food? No one's going to stop you now. They're
Here
distracted.
it comes again.
Right on time.
Right on time. You don't have a watch. Expected a better throw, honestly.
These are the heads, the assassins that you sent to me last night.
What assassins?
You will not face me in daylight, but you will try and kill me as I sleep. All of you will die, just like your prince.
Avner was Jonathan.
Yeah, see, now that's a proper throw.
Watch out!
That was a little dramatic. I mean, there's such a thing as concussive force, but dang. I've done the math. The thing only weighed 6 pounds.
I defy the army of Israel. I defy the gods of Israel.
You, my friend, have run out of time.
Today, I meet with the leaders of Aethra. Join with me or die with Saul.
All of that drama, I feel like, is actually a fairly accurate thing that I've never thought of would be happening in the story, but it would make sense. Everybody's just standing around waiting for this guy. Yeah, they would be running out of food, and yeah, people would be getting frustrated. Why isn't Saul doing anything? What is happening? We should be attacking this guy. Someone should do it. I mean, not me, obviously, but the frustrations would get big, and people would eventually be like, look, Saul, you fight this on your own. Like, why are we here? There's nothing happening. The drama makes sense, honestly. I don't think the Bible says how long Goliath kept this up. Even if it was more than like 2 weeks, that would be very disheartening and people would start to lose morale. Oh, they lied. Who could have seen this coming?
So where is your God? I see no smoke from sacrifice rising from your camp. Has the great seer abandoned you? Here is the game, son of Saul.
That reminds me of
The
Will
pieces
Wheaton.
on the board. I have not unified all 4 Philistine armies.
I don't know what it is.
I have unified all 5. Ekron is now fully behind you with even more giants. You are now completely surrounded and I outnumber you 3-1.
If what you say is true, why not ride in on us?
It is true. The Philistines were also cowardly because they weren't willing to attack Israel either. Even though I'm pretty sure it does say that they were outnumbered in the Bible. Yeah, they were cowards hiding behind Goliath. Yeah, they're God in a way.
Centuries ago, my people came from across the great sea, sons of kings, royals, sent to conquer Egypt and these lands, sent with the divine right and the power of bronze and steel given to us by our gods.
500 years ago. Yet Egypt remains. Because your father
Was a lesser man. You and I, we share this.
My father is a king, yours died like a dog.
Your ancestors, they were slaves in Egypt. I've been told from many stories written by your great one.
Moses.
Yes. You know how many times he writes of your people being happier as slaves? Philistines were made to rule. Hebrews were made to serve. You came here as slaves, and as slaves you shall return. For that it is your natural state.
No, we left Egypt by our own will. And when they tried to stop us, our God drowned the Egyptian army in the Red Sea. What did your God do?
Then where is he? Where is Yahweh?
We do not speak his name.
You fear him?
Yes. We do. As should you. And you remember years ago when we faced each other across the battlefield. My father took the head of yours. You still hear his screams. I saw fear in his eyes that day, as I see it now. Fear masked with rage.
They're trying to trick me. I'm not sure how I feel about this scene existing at all. But man, the writing is so good that I'm enjoying this scene. Maybe I'll forget about that. I am not sure how I feel about this. Particularly because in this era, if they're not using Jonathan as like a ransom, like they've tried to convince the Israelites that he's dead, I don't know why they would let him live, especially with the kinds of people that you were dealing with in this era of history. It was just, we kill first, ask questions later. Ransom was a thing, but, you know, the other side has to think that the ransomee is alive for it to work.
The sun rises. The moment it begins its next cycle, my patience will be at an end. And I will give the order to my army to attack you from all sides.
Oh, okay.
And I will spare no soul. Not woman, not children, not your mother, and not your sisters. They will die by my hand slowly. And all of Israel will mourn, if there is an Israel left at all.
So I don't think he's a very good actor. He's not giving intimidation well, but I'm also starting to wonder if maybe that's what they were going for. Like, that is the point, is that he's not intimidating, but he's trying to be. If so, good casting choice, but he's still not a very good actor. Like, I don't believe anything that he's saying to anybody. If he acted like this only in this scene with Jonathan, yeah, I think that would work. But with everybody, it's... like I said, something about him reminds me of Will Wheaton. Particularly Will Wheaton being Will Wheaton. Not any role Will Wheaton has played.
Return to your father. Convince him to surrender.
Oh, that's why he's still alive.
You cannot beat my giant, and you cannot win this battle. But you can live as slaves just as you did in Egypt.
I feel like you could have done that last night, you know? Skipped a
Oh,
little
and
bit.
Jonathan, if your answer is no, I give you my word. The next time I see you, my arrow will pierce your heart.
Oh, that's well played. Foreshadowing wise.